The door frame splintered with a crack like a bone snapping underfoot, wood shards scattering across the worn linoleum floor as my father's shoulder rammed through. I froze in the kitchen, the mug of coffee slipping from my fingers, shattering into a pool of steaming black liquid that burned my bare toes. "What the hell are you doing here?" I screamed, my voice raw, echoing off the peeling wallpaper. My mother pushed past him, her face a mask of feigned concern twisted with that familiar entitlement, clutching a spare key I'd never given her. "We were worried, sweetie. You haven't answered our calls." But her eyes darted to the counter, where my journal lay open, pages rifled through like they owned my secrets. Humiliation surged through me, hot and choking, as I realized this wasn't the first time. They'd been invading my space for months, judging, controlling, stealing pieces of my independence. In that moment, fury ignited, a wildfire scorching away the last threads of familial loyalty. I slammed the journal shut, my hands trembling, nails digging into the leather cover. "Get out. Now." My voice cracked, betraying the heartbreak beneath the rage. Dad straightened, his broad frame filling the doorway, the scent of his cheap aftershave clashing with the stale air of my tiny studio. "Don't talk to your mother like that, Emily. Or family. We have a right to check on you." "A right." The word echoed in my skull, fueling the resentment that had been simmering since childhood, their suffocating grip on my life, dictating my choices from college majors to boyfriends, all under the guise of love. But this, breaking in while I was home, it was a violation that stripped me bare, leaving me exposed and small. I backed away, heart pounding as Mom reached for me, her touch like icy fingers on my arm. "You've been distant. We found those pills in your trash last time. Are you using again?" Her whisper was laced with accusation, not concern, and I yanked away, the humiliation deepening into a pit of shame. I'd kicked the habit years ago, but they never let me forget, always probing, always doubting. That night, alone in the dim glow of my laptop screen, I paced the cramped room, the splintered door propped shut with a chair. Obsession took root, a dark vine twisting through my thoughts. How many times had they done this? The missing cash from my drawer, the rearranged photos on my shelf. It wasn't paranoia. It was pattern. Denial had kept me blind, whispering that they meant well, that blood ties excused everything. But now, fantasies of justice flooded in, confronting them with lawyers, changing locks for the 100th time, or worse, making them feel the same powerless terror. Doubt crept in, though, a whisper of guilt. They were my parents, aging and frail in their own ways. Dad with his bad heart, Mom with her endless anxiety. Was I the monster for resenting their help? I sank onto the bed, the springs creaking under my weight, and buried my face in the pillow, muffling sobs that tasted of salt and betrayal. No, this wasn't love. It was possession. And I would break free, even if it meant turning the tables. The next morning, sunlight filtered through the grimy blinds, casting striped shadows on the walls like prison bars. I called in sick to work, my voice steady despite the storm inside. Planning began in earnest, a cold resolve settling over me like frost on glass. I scrolled through rental listings, fingers flying over the keys, each click a step toward liberation. But fear nipped at the edges. What if they found me again? They'd tracked my phone once, hacked my email under the pretense of family sharing. Moral conflict gnawed. Revenge felt intoxicating, but was it right to lure them into a trap? I imagined their faces when police arrived, the handcuffs clicking, the humiliation mirroring mine. A twisted smile tugged at my lips, but guilt followed, heavy as lead. They weren't villains in black hats. Dad had worked 2 jobs to put me through school, Mom had nursed me through illnesses. Yet their love was poisoned, laced with control that had driven away friends, lovers, even my sense of self. Over coffee at a dingy cafe down the block, the aroma of burnt grounds mingling with rain-soaked streets outside, I met with my old friend Sarah. Her booth seat creaked as she leaned in, eyes wide under her messy bangs. This is insane. They've been breaking in. That's criminal." Her words validated the anger I'd bottled, but I kept my plan hidden, testing the waters. I changed the locks again, but they always find a way. Sarah sipped her latte, foam clinging to her lip. Confront them. Or move. Ghost them if you have to. Her casual tone ignited a spark. Ghosting, yes, but with teeth. We laughed about it superficially, but inside, obsession grew. As rain pattered against the window, blurring the world outside, I envisioned the move. Packing in secret, a new address unknown, leaving the old place rigged with silence until they forced entry again. The police would come, not for me but for them. It was poetic, a reversal that made my pulse quicken. Days blurred into a haze of quiet preparation. I boxed belongings under the cover of night, the cardboard scraping against the floor like whispers of conspiracy. Each item tucked away. Photos of us as a family now tainted, stirred resentment anew. Why couldn't they let me breathe? Heartbreak resurfaced in waves. Memories of Dad teaching me to ride a bike clashing with his recent tirades about my irresponsible life. I paused over a faded Polaroid, thumb tracing Mom's smiling face, guilt twisting like a knife. Was I destroying what little family I had? But then fury returned, hot and unyielding, as I recalled the journal entries they'd read. Private pains about their overreach, now ammunition in their arsenal of judgment. Tension built slowly, in the creak of floorboards as I tiptoed, in the muffled phone calls to a new landlord. I avoided their texts, each unanswered ping a small victory laced with dread. What if they showed up early? The apartment felt like a pressure cooker, steam building, ready to explode. One evening, as thunder rumbled outside, shaking the windows, a knock echoed. My heart seized. Peering through the peephole, I saw them. Dad's furrowed brow, Mom's clutched purse. Emily, open up. We need to talk. Their voices dripped with manipulation, that faux worry hiding demands. I stayed silent, breath shallow, watching them jiggle the knob. They left, but the seed of vengeance sprouted. Soon I'd be gone, and they'd return to an empty shell, sirens wailing in the distance. The move happened under a moonless sky, my car loaded with boxes that smelled of dust and finality. The new place was a nondescript building across town, concrete walls cold to the touch, but it was mine, untouched, uninvaded. As I unpacked, the quiet amplified my inner turmoil. Elation mixed with isolation, resolve shadowed by doubt. Had I gone too far? But then a text from Mom. Where are you? We're coming over. I deleted it, heart racing, and set the trap. I left the old key hidden where they'd find it, notified the building manager of suspicious activity, and waited. Suspense coiled tight, every tick of the clock a heartbeat toward confrontation. In the sterile glow of my new kitchenette, the microwave humming like a distant siren, I stared at my phone, waiting for the call that would confirm the unraveling. It had been 3 days since the move. 3 days of radio silence that must have driven them mad. Obsession had evolved into a cold, calculated vigil. I pictured their confusion, their mounting frustration turning to desperation. Guilt flickered, a dying ember. They were my blood after all, but resentment fanned it out. How many nights had I lain awake in the old place, hearing phantom footsteps, feeling their eyes on my life? No more. The new apartment's air was crisp, scented with fresh paint, a blank canvas for my rebirth. Yet fear lingered, a shadow in the corners. What if the police dismissed it? What if they talked their way out, painting me as the ungrateful child? The call came at dusk, the sky bleeding orange through the blinds. It was the building manager, his voice gruff over the line. Ms. Hayes, your parents showed up. Forced the door. Cops are here now. My breath caught, a rush of vindication surging like adrenaline. Thank you, I murmured, hanging up and sinking into the couch, its fabric rough against my skin. Fantasies materialized. Dad's bluster deflating under badges, Mom's tears turning accusatory. But doubt intruded. Was this justice or cruelty? I paced, the floorboards creaking underfoot, mirroring the storm in my mind. Moral conflict raged. They deserved consequences, yet picturing their humiliation twisted my gut. Heartbreak resurfaced, unbidden memories of holidays, laughter now soured by betrayal. An hour later my phone buzzed again, Dad. I let it ring, each trill heightening the suspense, before answering on speaker. Emily, what the fuck is this? His voice was thunderous, laced with panic I'd never heard. You set us up. The police are questioning us like criminals. Mom's sobs echoed in the background, a soundtrack to my cold resolve. You broke in. Again, I said evenly, though my hands shook. I moved. You weren't invited. Silence stretched taut as a wire before Mom snatched the phone. How could you? We're your parents. We love you. Her words dripped manipulation, but cracks showed. Genuine hurt beneath the control. Love. This is obsession. You've been stealing my privacy for years. Dialogue hung heavy, revealing layers. Their fear of losing me, my resentment of their grip. Tension peaked as Dad growled. You'll regret this. Family doesn't abandon each other. I hung up, heart pounding, the room spinning in the aftermath. Night fell, the city lights twinkling like distant stars through the window. I poured a glass of wine, the liquid's tart bite grounding me amid the whirlwind. Inner thoughts swirled. Was revenge sweet, or did it poison me too? Guilt gnawed deeper now, visions of their arrested faces haunting me. But then anger resurfaced, raw and unfiltered. They'd humiliated me, broken my trust. Pacing resumed, the apartment's silence amplifying every creak, every distant siren that might be for them. Subtle foreshadowing from childhood clicked into place. Mom's surprise visits to my dorm, Dad's protective tracking apps. Their motives weren't pure love. They were fear of emptiness, using me as their anchor. The next morning, rain lashed the windows, turning the world gray and blurred. A knock startled me. Police at my door? No, a delivery. Legal papers from their lawyer, accusing me of entrapment. Shock rippled through, but it fueled my resolve. I called Sarah, her voice a lifeline over the storm. They what? This is war. We met at the cafe again. Steam rising from our cups like ghosts of past conversations. I didn't expect backlash, I confessed, voice trembling. Sarah's eyes narrowed. They've always manipulated you. Fight back. Her words uncovered hidden motives. Perhaps their invasions masked deeper secrets, like financial troubles they'd hidden, using my space to snoop for help. Tension built as we plotted. Countersuits, restraining orders. But fear whispered, what if I lost everything? Days turned to a slow burn of legal skirmishes, emails flying like arrows. Each court date loomed, suspense thickening the air. In the quiet moments, obsession waned, replaced by reflection. I journaled again, pages filling with brutal honesty. Denial of their toxicity, fantasies now reality, doubt in my path. One evening, as thunder cracked overhead, Mom called alone. Emily, please. Your father's had a scare, his heart. Her voice broke, revealing vulnerability. Is this what you wanted? Guilt crashed over me, a wave of regret. No. But you forced my hand. The conversation peeled layers. Her anxiety stemmed from losing her own parents young, Dad's control from failures in his youth. Morally gray we all were, victims and villains intertwined. The climax came in a fluorescent-lit courtroom, the air thick with tension and the scent of polished wood. They sat across, faces etched with defeat, as the judge ruled. Trespassing charges stuck, probation for them, a no-contact order for me. As handcuffs clicked, not jail but a symbolic restraint, Dad's eyes met mine, filled with heartbreak. We just wanted to protect you. His whisper shattered something inside. But then the twist. Among the evidence, a hidden letter from Mom, confessing they'd been siphoning my savings. For my own good. Betrayal deepened, but so did pity. They were broken, their love a facade for desperation. I walked out into the rain, free yet burdened, revenge's payoff a hollow victory laced with unexpected sorrow. In the end, justice was poetic, but the scars ran deep, a reminder that family ties, once severed, left ghosts in their wake.